Well, welcome back to Matt's Automotive Channel. Yesterday we got the air fuel gauge in, and so we'll start this video out today by taking it out for a spin and getting a baseline before we go ahead and throw a new pulley on it. What I want to see is what kind of boost it's making with this. That way when we do the pulley swap, we can make sure that we're getting the additional boost that we're expecting. And in this case, we're going from a 3-inch pulley all the way down to a 2.5. So we're expecting around 3.5 to 4 additional pounds of boost. And we also want to make sure that we have a good safe tune on it. So we're going to check under boost. This should be making around, or the air fuel ratio should be right around 11.5, 12, preferably 11.5 or so. And then once we get the new pulley put on, we're going to retune it. And because of the retune and the additional boost, that's why we want to make sure that we still have a good air fuel ratio, and we're able to deliver the additional fuel to keep that that safe air fuel ratio of 11.5 under boost. And then also make sure that we're actually creating the additional 3.5 to 4 pounds of boost. If not, perhaps the intake could be a little restrictive, or the exhaust could be restrictive, or perhaps we have some slippage on the belt. So we'll check for that as well. So anyway, with that said, let's get started and get this thing out on the road. Good. We had problems getting some traction in first and second gear, so we had to get into third before we could actually go to full boost and check our air fuel ratio. Boost is right at 9 psi, air fuel ratio 11.5 under that boost, so everything looks good and safe there. Wow, this thing just, holy smokes, just does not hook up. All right, that concludes our test drive. Everything looked pretty good there. We had no traction at all in first and second gear. Once we got it into third, it would hold, and we were able to build full boost, and we got up to 9 psi. Air fuel ratio under that boost was 11.5, so spot on. Everything's good there. So we're ready to do the pulley swap at this point. And then we'll take it back out, test again, make sure, well, then we have to throw a new tune on it, and then make sure that new tune has the proper air fuel ratio under that boost, and that we were able to deliver the fuel necessary for the additional air going into the motor. We'll also verify that we get the 3 to 4 pounds of extra boost. If we don't, it could be an issue. Well, there could be several things. It could be the belt slipping, in which case we need to get a different type of idler that relocates the idler to get additional wrap around that pulley. Also, the air intake could be a restriction, so we may have to upgrade the air intake or the throttle body or something. And then number 3, we could have an exhaust that's restricting the airflow. Hopefully none of that will be the case, and we get our 4 pounds of boost. So anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and get started on the pulley swap. All right, the first thing we need to do is get this coolant reservoir out of the way. It'll give us more room to work over here. Alright, and let's take this little plug out here. Just pry it out a little bit, and you should just be able to twist it out. Alright, and then we can remove the belt. Alright, now we can install our puller. All right, and then we definitely want to thread both these in all the way till they bottom out. So that way we know we're pulling squarely on this and not at an angle. All right, then on one end of this block, there's a little opening here where we can put a 1/2 inch rod in to hold it in place while we twist this off. But I have an impact, so I'm going to use that instead. All right, and now that we got the blower pulley off, next thing to do is pull the idler pulley, which is located right here, and I believe that's a 13 mm. There we are. That's really tucked in there pretty good. But we got it. All right, as you can see, here's the old idler pulley and here's the new one. So this is the 90 mm, so this should take up the slack for the smaller blower pulley. All right, now we're ready to use the install tool. This has a little bearing on it, and this little piece here actually threads into the end of the blower here. And then what'll happen is we'll put this on here, and then we'll crank this bolt down, and then it should push the pulley on. So let's give this a try. Okay, we'll be sure to thread this all the way until it bottoms out. That's the small threads going into the actual end of the shaft. Okay. And this bearing we'll push up against the nose snout of that pulley, and then we'll just thread it on. All right, now we'll hold it in place with this, and then just crank with this one. And this goes on a lot easier than the other one comes off, that's for sure. All right, and you just keep going until it bottoms out. It's real obvious, it just stops abruptly. And then at that point, you know it's on. So then we'll just go and remove this. All right, and then you'll see that the edge of this blower shaft here is perfectly flush with that the pulley. So now we can go ahead and replace the little plug here, and that just pushes in. And there we go, that's installed. Okay, put the bar back into the tensioner here, create a little bit of slack, and then we'll just roll this over. All right, and then before you put your coolant tank back, just make sure that the belt lines with all the ribs in each of the pulleys, make sure everything's on. Might want to even crank it once and just make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to be, and then go and put your coolant tank back. And the only thing left is to put a new tune on the car to accommodate for the additional boost. Then we'll take it out for another test drive and see if it's still running safely. All right, now we can go ahead and put the tune on. When you put tunes on, it's a good idea to turn your lights off and HVAC because you have to put the tune on with the key in the run position, which would obviously run all that. And it's just, it could create interference when programming the car. And as you can see here, I got a number of tunes. So we're gonna move over here to to the 91 octane 2.5 inch Pulley tune. And then it'll have you cycle the car on and off a couple times when setting it up. The whole process only takes about 5 minutes or so. And there we go, it's putting the new tune on it now. Okay, and there we are, download complete. So we're ready. Unfortunately, it's dark now, and I'm not going to have time to take it out for a spin at this point. So I think I'll terminate the video here and then continue on the next video, which is going to be putting the new tires on. One other thing to note is when you raise boost like this, it's a good idea to go to a colder plug. With 3 to 4 pounds of boost, it's recommended that you go to 1 heat range colder plug. I believe these come stock with heat range 6, and so we're going to move to a 7. It'll have a little bit less insulation or ceramic on the plug, so it cools a little better. The reason for that is with the higher boost, you're running higher temperatures, and with the higher temperatures, you're more likely to have pre-ignition. So that's another thing I'm going to address in one of the future videos. If you like this content, find it interesting or helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be reminded of any videos going forward. See you on the next video. Bye.